The best thing to say about a regular day is that there isn't a regular day. But what's strange is when I think about the show, when I was at school, like all I ever wanted when I was at school was to just avoid wearing a suit and sitting behind a desk. It was like, that was the worst thing that I could, if that happened to me, I'd completely screwed up. And now that's a huge part of my day. I mean, Ben, what's a regular day?
Well, a regular day, I mean, we have I guess it does depend on what we're doing, but I mean, it's a full-on day. I mean, should I give you the rundown of the schedule?
Great.
Okay, so the rundown of the schedule. So usually, Rob and I will usually get in touch before we're at work, maybe like 8 o'clock. We'll just check that everything's okay and we're doing all right. The monologue team, our head writers led by Ian Carmel and Lauren Greenberg, they'll get together quite early, maybe 8 a.m., start working out what the stories are. I won't go minute by minute. I know we've got a short amount of time.
Appreciate it.
Then it will get to sort of 9 o'clock, and sometimes one of us will, or James Longman or Josie Cliff, our other two EPs, will go to an edit, check whatever the tape bits are for that night. 10 o'clock's a production meeting, used to be in person, now it's on Zoom, where we'll literally just do a 5-minute meeting led by Rob, where we'll go through exactly what's happening on the show. 10:30 will be, we'll pop in, see James, have a gossip, talk about very little work. 11 o'clock will be a creative meeting with all of our writers where they will go through what's on the show, on the script that night creatively. Not monologue, not questions for the guests, but scripted bits. And then they'll also talk about future guests. So we'll say, oh, Bryan Cranston's on the 10th of April. He is. And we'll talk about, oh, you know, can we pitch him this? Or you know, we'll go through those sorts of ideas.
Most days we think about what we can pitch Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And then it will go from there. 12 o'clock will be usually us going back to the edit, seeing what tape bits we've got. 1 o'clock will be a segment meeting where the segment producers will go in and they'll brief James on the interviews that he's going to be doing. 2 o'clock will be a mono meeting where they give us the first mono. James will read it. We don't do it on the floor anymore. We do it on Zoom. I'm sort of getting there, right?
Yeah.
3 o'clock, Tim Mancinelli will rehearse everything on the stage. 5 o'clock, we tape. 6 o'clock, we're finished. 7 o'clock, we're looking at edits. 9 o'clock, it goes on the line. And then we've got to have it out by 9:20 because it's on in Canada, I think, at 9:30 LA time. And then we do it all again the next day.
And then some days, if we're shooting stuff, so like the week we get back, we're not on this week, but we're going to film this Tuesday. And then the week we get back, we have 4 shows. Plus that week, we're shooting 2 carpools and a Crosswalk the musical, as well as the 4 hours of show. So those are the days where some days it feels like from noon, you just don't, sometimes it feels like your feet don't touch the ground.